Hi everyone, Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and 2 days ago Apple released iPadOS 26 Beta 4. This update was released alongside iOS 26 Beta 4, macOS 26 Beta 4, watchOS, tvOS, and HomePodOS 26 Beta 4, and also visionOS 26 Beta 4. Now, I am not on the iOS 26 beta. I'm on iPadOS 18.5, hopefully soon to be on iPadOS 18.6, as that's releasing soon, which I'll talk about a little bit later. However, I am going to talk about what's new in iOS or iPadOS 26 Beta 4. And they have updated Liquid Glass. In Beta 3, they made it more noticeable. This won't show up here. Let me see if I can go into some of my screenshots. In iOS 26 Beta 4, they made Liquid Glass much more noticeable than in Beta 3. They tweaked it around a lot, and they've made some improvements to Liquid Glass in iPadOS 26 Beta 4. So you should see that in music, podcast, and a lot of third-party apps that have the Liquid Glass feature. One of my favorite features, if you go to the lock screen here, and how we have a dynamically changing wallpaper with iPadOS 18 the same as iOS 18, this beta, which is beta 4 for iPadOS 26, finally allowed it to have the dynamic wallpaper. Of course, I'm not on that beta, but I do have a picture of it here. There is now a dynamic option for the wallpapers in iPadOS 26. Now, notifications gets an overhaul. It gets a slight update. If you have notifications and you have the Liquid Glass enabled, well, of course, it's enabled by default, it will now dim the wallpaper. Kind of like how you're putting your iPad into maybe, say, sleep mode. See how it dims the wallpaper, although it doesn't go that dark in iPadOS 26, but it will go dark to make the notifications a little bit more easier to read. And personally, if you were having a hard time reading the notifications because of the Liquid Glass, they have now fixed that with making those notifications a little bit more darker. Now, there's updates to the phone app, but of course, I don't have the phone app as I'm not on the beta yet. But with the phone app, with iOS 18 or iOS 26, you have updates where you can select never, you can ask the person for their reason of calling, or you can even silence the callers. That's under the Screen Unknown Callers section. That is in iOS 26. Now, I don't have any video thumbnails in files, but within iPadOS 26, you could now preview and quick look at a video file or a video thumbnail. So if I were to create a custom thumbnail, if I go into YouTube Studio here, like I have a lot of video thumbnails. This is a video I did yesterday for One UI 7.0. If I were to put this picture in files, I would be able to preview and quick look. That is a nice new update that is in iOS 26. And they made a slight update to the camera icon. The camera icon in iOS 26 has an outline around it, although I can't really tell much of a difference. Although the outline is a little darker in some spots, but there is an updated camera. Now, within windowed apps, unfortunately, because I'm not yet on the beta, I can't trigger the window apps mode. But in iPadOS 26, it brings a new feature where you could have windowed apps mode. And within that mode, I believe they changed how you switched apps. Well, they've made some updates, so you should be able to switch to different apps more easier in the windowed apps view in iPadOS 26. Now, as far as what other updates we can expect from Apple, well, today is July 24th, and later today, I would expect the iOS 26 public beta. I would hopefully expect that around 12 to 12:30 p.m. Central Time. I would expect that public beta. We were highly anticipating it yesterday, although we did not get it for whatever reason, even though it was highly expected. I would, however, expect it today. Now, as far as iOS 18.6, that I would expect on Monday, July 28th. Now, there aren't really too many bugs in iOS 18.5, apart from, for whatever reason, my YouTube icon is not updating in dark mode. Let me see if I can fix that. There we go. That's not really that much of a bug, although I easily can fix that by tinting the icons and then going back to dark mode. But that might be a bug in 18.5, but I haven't really faced any severe bugs. I haven't faced any storage bugs. If we take a look at storage here, I haven't really faced any bugs with iPadOS 26 or iPadOS 18.5, as I'm not yet on the beta. I don't know that I will be installing the public beta. I was thinking about putting it on here so that I can try out the windowing system, although I use this iPad just the same as my iPhone, primarily to make my videos, and I even edit my videos on here with CapCut and trying out different video editors. So I wouldn't really want to put a beta on here to compromise what I use it for. But if you have like an old device laying around, you definitely can use it and put the beta on that device. As far as anything else from Apple, well, that's really it for iPadOS 26 Beta 4. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.